collapsed 100 times this week, if not more. We're all disappointed. Bobby Orr's disappointed in me. Bobby, I'm disappointed in me. I've sat all week long reflecting, listening to you, and I have heard you. I mean you, the viewer. I've reflected by listening to my own heart. And they say, I've struggled mightily to find the words, and I'm not sure I have them even now, but they say it's a good thing because when you can find the words, it's dead in your heart. And it's not dead in my heart. By the way, Don Cherry, we have communicated. We talked a lot on Monday, and then by phone. I was there in person, and then by phone. And he sent me a note yesterday. I phoned you, by the way, Don, at 9:30 this morning when we normally talk, and you didn't. I don't know if you're at the cottage or just couldn't. But Don said, Ron, a lot of people will be watching this for a while. Don't go too far, which made me smile, of course. Don Cherry telling me not to go too far. But it's nothing, I don't want to be cavalier in any regard. I don't want to be sanctimonious or righteous in this address that you and I are having. This one plunged deeply into our hearts, right? You know why? Because it's about relationships. Biggest thing, it's about relationships. Don's and mine, Coach's Corners and yours and Don's. It's certainly about hockey, the teammates, the bridge building that hockey represents. It's about life in Canada. So all I can do is unpack my heart a little bit here and then see how you feel. The news cycle. I should say sorry to all the journalists who called this week and I didn't return calls. I know you understand why, but it would be about personalities, about rivalries, about divisions and failures, about all that drama. And it's not about Don and me. It was clearly about something bigger. I haven't spoken, so let me go back to last Saturday and just sort of take you through the last 30 seconds of the Coach's Corner. Don typically, beautifully had done the story of two young minor hockey boys who had died that week. And I had been in Welland the night before, and I knew how traumatic it was for the hockey community and the tragedy for the family. So that was there. Then we were moving towards Don's beautiful Vimy Ridge video, and I was kind of processing what he was saying and thinking I wasn't in an ideological bubble at all. I might have been in a friendship bubble, but because I was kind of praying that I don't think I'm hearing trouble, but I might be hearing trouble. Anyway, it was done. And then you called us on it, which I thank you for, because that's the new world. You don't have a pulpit like Coach's Corner or the CBC News or the New York Times or the Guardian that just pronounces and that's it. Now you have in real time social media and a kind of a democracy happening, and so you caught it. And knowing what to overlook is wisdom, right? And I felt so bad, and I apologized immediately. And Don, Don, defiant. There were steps that needed to be taken because of what had been said by Don, and he didn't want to do those steps. So he made his choice, and I made mine. And then the next choice, which was a really hard choice, probably the sleepless nights all week are mostly about this. Don's my guy. I'm in a foxhole with Don, and I've decided to go one way and he another. And you say, okay, how can you choose principle over friendship? But I had to. I thought a lot about falling on my sword too. And then I thought, no, but if I do that, I infer what happened was right somehow, or that I'm going along to get along, or that I'm going to just sit silently by or be a bystander again in a situation. And that, it just took the courage. Don taught me to stand, right? So I had to have the courage of my convictions. And that's what I'll say about you, Don. I love you so much, and you always say you spoke like a 32-year-old American Hockey League player. You were always the captain, the leader of your hockey teams, the coach could count on to take care of the troublemaker, and you taught me to be that guy. And so here I am, sort of standing up and taking this position. But that doesn't mean anything in terms of my respect for you or my judgment of you. We will never do anything in the first intermission on Hockey Night in Canada. We have, like the country, to reimagine ourselves, and there will be, a possibility of this really bad, unexpected thing to do some good things, I hope. But we honor what you've meant to the game, to the fact that you have been there for human beings and sentient beings. Just a fantastic human being. And so I love you very much, and we honor you tonight in this last talk about a Coach's Corner.